Welcome to the Scent of Beauty. My name is Susan, and this video is titled Integrity/Dignity. This is part one, and the reason why I am making this video, it's because I've heard numerous times, don't take it personally. You're taking it too personal. And what it, quote unquote, is referring to are those assertively harmed and aimed words that are assaultive and that comes with such force, and it's determined to affect our person. The idea of sticks and stones can break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Really? I've lived long enough. I think we've lived long enough to know that that sentiment is not true. It's just not as visible as a stick and a stone or a stone hit, but it sure leaves its mark on our psyche. The first thing it does when we don't take injury personally, when it's aimed at us, we lose the first line of defense, and that's our integrity. And then when the integrity has a crack within it and it's not intact, our dignity starts to get impacted and our dignity structure becomes lower. The pounding words, the act of affecting our person, premeditated or not, we still get a hit. I still get hit. So us not taking it personal when we're personally affected is not rational. In many ways, we are comforted to take ill treatment. We are discouraged and we are told not to take injury and harm personally. And then not only are we not to take it personally, there lies excuses. So-and-so is just an angry person. You know how she is. She's just miserable. You know, he is always joking around. Our psyche become conditioned to have a recording to combat these injury and harms by telling ourselves, you're taking it too personal. Why are you acting that way? And the way that our minds are judging us and telling us why are we acting that way, it's usually because we want to either fight or we want to flight the scene. We even allow the perpetrators to tell us, you know that's who I am, you know how I am. You either take me or leave me. Actually, you either take it or leave it. So if we're going to take it and not leave, we have to tase our own minds. Over time, what we do it to our psyche is we give it the message. We incapacitate our own self long enough to formulate enough excuses why he or she did or have inflicted pain or suffering, and that becomes a constant experience, we have to temporarily paralyze our good judgment. And you know what our good judgment really is? Is our receptors and indicators. I just want to give them a shout out right now, because our indicators and receptors are our first responders. They call out to our well-being. They call out to other regions in our bodies and in our minds and in our brain. And they call on pathways that, I should say, they go down pathways in order to get our attention. Our adrenaline starts to, increase. It is telling us, it's sounding the alarm. You're being hurt. Our well-being is not at hand at this moment. But what we tend to do is we tell our receptors and indicators, you're taking it too personally. We develop the art of deducing our ontological security, and our integrity becomes a shambles. And when that is open and there is a crack, our dignity, the core of our being, what keeps us erected, that pride, that, being proud and loving who we are, our nature, our being, our autonomy, when that gets hit, we start to fall. Our self-respect, our self-worth, our self-care, it starts to dwindle away. We become a projection and lose ourselves. We no longer act as a person. The representation of an image starts to develop. And we start to believe within ourselves that we could take hits, that we have a high tolerance for pain. But that's not strength. We weaken our autonomy. We weaken our human right to govern ourselves, because we have chosen not to take it personally. With encouragement from outside sources. So as I mentioned before, our first responders are indicators, our receptors. It responds to interferences. Our receptors don't care about Richter scale. It doesn't care about the magnitude of the intent. A storm, it doesn't matter if the magnitude and the force of the impact. Our indicators picks up on the slight, the quakes. That's all it cares about. And when that happens, our indicators and responders are telling us, take it personal. So this is part one of integrity and dignity. And as we go forward, we individually have to ask ourselves, is it time to take these words that are aimed at our person personally? And if we haven't been doing that, have we taken a look at our integrity and our dignity, at our at our indicators, our responders, receptors? Have we been supporting them as they have been supporting us? And what does dignity, or actually, what does integrity and dignity look like? How can we see that? Because a lot of psychological injury and harm, right? Sticks and stones will break our bones, but words can never hurt us. That component of words hurting, how can we see that? And so, as we go forward, we're going to show how we could see it, expand on it. And at the end of the day, as I said, self-help and giving a good cheer and encouragement is excellent. But I find that having tools to build with and a true sense of defining what words mean and who I am, what I mean, and who you are and what you mean, not to others, but to yourself. That's the best gift that we could offer to our being. So thank you for listening, and I look forward to presenting part 2 of integrity/dignity. Welcome to the Scent of Beauty.